let's be honest. If one of your friends, not me, obviously,
with my man.
I'm top tier.
Yeah.
Slept with your
Boyfriend.
Your husband.
Oh.
Would you end them both?
Hi guys, Maruki Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between. It's definitely TMI. Our energy is back.
Yeah. It's because now we're like, this is the last episode we're shooting for a while.
For like 3
I'm like, yes, let's
weeks.
give it the best we got.
Yes.
And then go sleep.
Don't panic. Episodes are
yeah.
still coming out. It's just
Definitely.
a production break.
Yeah.
That is all.
By the way, one thing about us is that we are more concerned about consistency and commitment to TMI than we are to anything else in life.
Including our own pages.
Including our own pages, including our own
Relationships.
marriages. That one can take a pause. But TMI, Wednesday at 12, you must get an episode.
Where would we be?
No,
Until
actually
Wednesday
we
at 12,
can't.
there's no episode.
Yeah.
No,
to be honest, I feel like that's one of the
no.
things that definitely sets us apart. One of the things that has helped us grow, helped us make money, helped us get grants and whatnot is that consistency. It's something people really take for granted, consistency, honestly.
It's not easy to be,
Yeah.
but the results are so worth it.
That's the thing.
Yeah, anyway, karibuni to the Messy In Between podcast, aka TMI Podcast KE, and that's TMI Podcast KE on all social media handles. Here we talk about honest conversations about life as it is messy. And if you are not following us on any of our social media handles, you're definitely missing out on a ton of content from the BTS to of our shoots to our everyday to day life, and a lot of things we're going to be talking about. You might have some context if you're following us on social media. So that's Murugi Munyi, Lydia KM, and TMI Podcast KE. Please follow us.
Absolutely.
And guys, if you're not subscribed at this point,
Come
we don't know what to say. As we say, we bring the consistency, we bring the content, you bring the what? Subscription.
The support
That's it.
that enables us to keep making videos about things that we love, things that you guys love, and things that we want to keep talking about. By the way, life is expensive, and you help us a little bit by subscribing.
Yeah.
Now, when Lydia and I started TMI, we were like, we want to talk about these honest conversations about life as it is messy. But like, and then we had like, remember we had the different categories. We were like sex, relationships, money, career, friendships.
Yeah.
It's obvious the ones that we have mostly talked about.
Obvious.
On TMI.
Money and friendships dead in the water.
Dead. Career?
Oh.
Somewhere.
I don't think we've ever done any. Oh no,
We
something about
have.
a job.
We've done about jobs or like. Yeah,
It's all about jobs.
Yeah, but at the beginning, I feel like we didn't really know the direction. And then for us, I guess it was more important, like giving you guys the content you're asking for, the stuff that seems to like you guys really need people to talk more about. And the reality is that you can pretty much find conversations about friendship and money and career many places. Sex and relationships, not as much. But we really wanted to have a conversation about friendship this time because it's something that we haven't spoken about a lot. And a lot of people have also been asking about it in the DMs. People, you're going through a lot, you guys.
Yeah, and actually the thing that started leading what content we bring is what we felt like we had knowledge to give.
Yeah.
So career, okay, go. You know,
it's important to show up to your 9 to 5 on time.
Do you understand? Like we didn't feel like we had that much expertise.
Yeah.
Money as well. I feel like it's only Joe recently just learned how to save. I'm taking finance coach. You see, finance. So that was not our expert field. So we started going with what you guys are really loving, and because it's authentic to us, then it naturally you guys started aligning to it. But we decided friendship. The reason why we don't talk about friendship so much is because we have great friends now. We're in that season where it's just like you don't have a troubling friend,
and you're not actively thinking about friendships because they are working.
Exactly.
It's only when things are not working that you're like,
you're really
let's
observant.
talk about this.
Exactly. But now friendship is something which we've definitely ignored. Today specifically, we're going to be talking about I knew the friendship was over when ... We've all been there. We had a few to get off our chest, but also we're going to be incorporating a lot of yours because we literally put up the question box, and in 5 seconds we had so many responses. Some of these we said we feel like it's more I knew that we needed to have a conversation, or I knew that the friendship needed to be mended or something, but not all of this say ending for real.
Whoa, yeah. You guys can decide when you hear them, because I think actually the problem is that a lot of people are not willing to have the uncomfortable conversation. So if uncomfortable conversation needs to be had for the friendship to be mended,
they usually
I'd rather throw it in the dustbin.
They usually end it, which actually is why so many of us are struggling with healthy, happy relationships, because we are not willing to have them. Whereas with Njoroge down the road, you've been having 75 conversations about him cheating.
Crying,
still working on it, still holding on.
Lydia always says that the strength of a friendship is determined by how willing you are to have
any relationship is determined by how willing you are to have uncomfortable conversations and pivot around it, because it is uncomfortable. Like, this is weird, this is bad, we are both uncomfortable.
It sucks to be here.
I want to be still want you to be in your life, and I don't want to feel this bad thing that I'm feeling.
Exactly. Oh my God. Anyway, so a lot of you guys are cutting people off for literally anything.
Nothing.
Literally anything. I'm like, if Lydia had these standards, we are no longer friends. And then it must make it so hard for you guys to develop, I don't know, like real meaningful friendships. Yeah.
Because some of these things just need a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
But some were valid. Anyway, let me say one of mine. I knew the friendship was over when the fourth person came to me telling me that the person is speaking negatively about me. It's like the first one is like might have been an misunderstanding. The second one, this is me people pleasing. The third one, you're really pushing my limit of forgiveness. The fourth one is that this is not changing. This is not changing. This is just who you are, and I can't trust that when I'm out of the room, you're not gonna talk to me properly.
Oh God, that's horrible. And I was really young. Each of the four people saying the same kind of thing? Like, was she talking about you about the same thing?
No. It wasn't even a complaint. It was more like one person should be like, who do I think I am, or something along those lines. Then something else is just like, did you see how she did this? It seemed like she didn't like me.
Yeah.
And that was like the first breakup friendship that I had that really changed me, and was like, oh my God, not all friends are nice.
Imagine.
Because me, I was going around thinking, crazy. All friends are amazing.
Sometimes it even makes me wonder, like, people who don't like you will go to extremes, any extreme, but where they draw the line is actually talking to you about it and saying, you know what, I don't like you that much. Or just saying, I don't want to be friends with you anymore.
Never.
Anything except speaking to you is what people are willing to do.
And sometimes
that's the problem.
I really think is that you love me, but you don't like me, or I'm triggering, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. But there's love there anyway. But there's something that is missing in you, and they're just not willing to have the conversation.
Underlying thing. Maybe it's even one thing that happened ages ago, but because you've never been able to get past it, every small thing reminds you of the thing. Like, maybe if someone, let's say something nice happened to me and you didn't call me to say congratulations. Now, any nice thing that happens to you, instantly I'm like, just let's wait and see. I'm definitely not going to tell her congratulations.
And then, because you picked it up as something hateful or mean, and now that's the narrative of
whereas you don't even remember or know that anything happened, and it's like you're living obliviously. But I'm like, so she knows she hurt me, but she's not even coming to say sorry.
Yeah, and it's like, how does she know? How does she know that she's hurt you? But can I tell you something? If, let's say, a conversation came back to me that you were talking about me, but you are frustrated at something that I did, or any of my friends, I would forgive that, because maybe at that time you didn't have the courage to come and say it to me, and now that I've heard it, it's like it's a complaint about something. But if it's like it's my entire existence that you're just ripping apart. I don't know where we go from here.
Yeah, like if someone who is like criticizing, like she thinks she's all that already, that's just like,
now what does that even mean?
What? Yeah, where do we start? Where do we begin?
It was over, and literally it was over then.
Did you like actually have a breakup conversation?
No,
then?
I was a child then. I was really young, so the best option to me was to just stop talking to them.
Young, like teenager.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a child. That's like somebody who's at least
know
forming,
like how to set boundaries. Like the discomfort of having relationship. I hadn't developed that courage either. So that just died.
Oh boy, that's unfortunate. For me, I knew the friendship was over when something really great happened in my life. And I remember it was something to do with social media. I can't remember what it was, but it was something to do with social media. And one of the first thoughts that came in my mind was like, oh God, I hope she doesn't find out. Or, oh gosh, I can't tell her about this. And it occurred to me in that moment, it's just like, wow. So how is she your friend if you genuinely feel like anytime you share anything good about your life, it becomes an issue, or it becomes about her, or it becomes about how can I make it seem like, because we had reached a point where it felt like my life was going the way I wanted it to be and hers wasn't. And so anytime I would share something, it would either feel like she feels like I'm bragging or would find a way to dull it down in a way that now doesn't make me feel great about the thing that's happening.
Right.
And I would just like, I'd rather just enjoy it without having to tell her, because then it's just going to be about managing her emotions and her feelings and whatnot, which as a friend, I would obviously do. So it's not like I'm trying to rub, you just come and tell me, oh my God, this is my 9th year trying for a child and I'm just so sorry. I'm like, oh, so sorry. Anyway, my 7 kids, let me tell you what, not like that, but like just like this great thing has happened. I would love to share it with you as my friend, but I just wasn't able to do that. That was the beginning of the end. That's for sure.
Oh my God. Yeah. And so many people are in those kind of dynamics where you can't really have the conversation with your friend about something good that has happened to you, or even sometimes about anything bad. I knew the friendship was over when I started feeling like the way I felt when I was with a boyfriend who was emotionally abusive. So it's like I was in a relationship that was emotionally abusive, but I didn't realize that the friendship also had that. Until that relationship was over and I no longer had that feeling, this started feeling abnormal. I was like, oh, wait. Has this always been like this? Yeah, I hadn't put 2 and 2 together. But always, by the way, if the dynamics you have with your man, with your romantic partner, you have those dynamics with at least one other person in your life, at least. And usually for me, it's always a friend. So I was like, oh, wait, this is how it's always been. But because you're not as bad as that one, you felt fine. It felt like you were just normal. But you're not. Now that
turns
I'm awake, you're absolutely not. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Okay. Let me share one more of my own personal ones. I knew the relationship was over when I started feeling like I couldn't consume this person's content. So there's a friend of mine she's a content creator, I guess. And over time, I used to follow her, but the more stuff she shared online, the more I realized I don't agree with a lot of your views. Like I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
But I realized wait, but I don't agree with that. I'm not on board with that. And it made me realize, is it that we just were never talking about like things which mattered that I would never have known that this is how you feel? Or is it that I was oblivious to that? Because I feel like there's a point in my life where there's a point where like when you're making friends, maybe I wasn't as intentional about the friends that I was making, but I just found I had friends, you know, like now, but it's like, how did you come to be my friend kind of thing? So by the time now you're realizing that, wow, wait, we have such different approaches to life and motherhood and values and the things that we hold dear and whatnot. At some point I was just like, I don't know if this is like a friendship that I want to really keep as a friendship. So that person, it's not like we are not friends, but they were relegated from friendship to like now we are acquaintances or people who know each other and speak once in a while.
There's someone who said, I knew the friendship was over when I realized we had different values, and people underestimate how that is. Now, let me give you an example. It's somebody who messaged me. They said that one of their friends is like, she sleeps around with married men. She's kind of very chaotic. Like a fight in a club is like an average Thursday. She's great as a friend. She's very loyal, but her character separately, it feels like their values are really different.
And at some point, definitely they'll interact and it'll be bad. It'll be bad because now you get married, you're not even comfortable coming to hang out with me because, I sleep with married men. So now we can't even hang out.
Or you're out and we're having a fight. I'm in the fight because now the bottle is on my head. I don't know how that
because you're with the husband sleeper with person.
Anything could come from left field. God, I feel like eventually who you are is gonna affect what's happening with me, whether or not I want to see you as a separate person. Eventually there's somewhere where it's not going to make sense. You're right,
for sure. There's just somewhere it'll just go wrong. Okay, I think we should share some of the ones that guys have shared with that. Like I said, some people are carrying people off for nothing, for literally nothing. Someone said, I knew the friendship was over when they asked for cash and they didn't return it as agreed.
Really?
Okay, let's not invalidate people's
Let's
feelings.
not invalidate, but we need to start seeing our own red flags.
Yeah.
why not have a conversation? Like, what's going on? And especially with cash, it's just like a million reasons could be. There's a discomfort of having that kind of conversation. There's the person's own financial status. I mean, many things could be happening. And also for me, if you borrow my cash and I have the conversation like, oh hey, what's going on? You said you return it. Then there's a bad reaction. I can see, but as in, it was supposed to be on the 12th of this month and it wasn't. On the 13th, you're blocked.
After 12 years of friendship.
That's it.
No, for me it's like, if it's a habit, I've lent you money 5 times and all 5 times you never send it back when it's agreed,
and I've told you
many times that I need it back, then it's something else, because it's like you don't respect my time, you don't respect my money, whatever. It doesn't mean anything to you that this makes me uncomfortable. Then it's like definitely a red flag. But it's just once I've given you money, and then unless it's like money you sent her 10 million.
Even after saying it so much, right? I think it's a red flag with you that you keep lending it. I think eventually it will be, I am deciding, because this is what I'm in control of, me giving it to you. So I will no longer give it to you. If you catch on that, good for you.
Yes.
But anyway, I personally don't think that is
as we speak, guys, we would love to hear you comment in the comment section below. Tell us if these are reasons why you would end a friendship, or why you would be like, okay, the friendship is over after these things have happened. We want to hear from you as well.
I personally wouldn't.
For me also, no.
Okay, another one is I knew the friendship was over when I told her that she had hurt me, and she said she can't apologize because she didn't see how. She said, now the friend said, I will apologize for when I feel it's valid. I think that could be that for me. My one foot is out of the door, because one of the things which I really care about is when I come to you and I tell you that you've hurt me, and you can have the questions of, why did that hurt you, or whatever the case may be, but your concern is that you hurt me. And that's, I guess, the way that I am with my friends. If someone says you hurt me because you said something stupid, like for example, if you are true in-betweener, you remember this. Joe said that she felt hurt. She didn't feel good about the fact that I kept saying she has like 8 kids children. Or 80 kids or whatever the case may be. And my initial reaction was that there's nothing for me that feels wrong about that. Not at all.
Yeah, so it's not about that. It's about the fact that I was hurt.
It doesn't matter if it was wrong. For me, it's that it hurt Joe, period. And also it's not something like, oh, Joe is hurt that I look good. It's something that it's towards her. Then definitely, if you think that hurting your friend, the apology comes because you believe their heart is valid. No, it's giving no empathy.
I also, it depends on also how you're approaching, because she didn't have to be like, I'm sorry that I said you have 80 children. Just be like, I'm sorry that I hurt you.
I'm sorry, period.
Because anyone would be sorry that they hurt anyone, any human being.
Forget even.
Yeah, because I mean, even if it's not even your friend, anyone, if I hurt anyone, I would be like, whether or not I feel like, it's like if I hit you, then you're like, oh, that hurt. Like, I would say sorry for hurting you, but no.
A lot of people aren't like that. That's a lot of people are just like, but it didn't hurt. Like, Kwani, why you know, like how bullies are. They make a joke, you're hurt, and then they're just like, you take it so seriously. Oh, you're so sensitive, because they don't want to take accountability.
I know.
Yeah, for me, I'm definitely one foot out of the door. If we can't have another conversation about it. Yeah.
Also, I would say in a friendship, it's really important how you broach conversations, how conversations start. Because I remember even when we were having that conversation, I was like, I feel hurt when you say, Joe, this. It's not like, you're always hurting me. Because when you say this, you're hurting me. It's more of like, I feel hurt, because I recognize that also it has to do with my own views, my own stuff, my own stance on things. But it's just like you saying it makes me feel hurt. It's not like necessarily you've slapped me.
It's
kind
I
of
agree.
thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I words. I feel X when
exactly.
you X.
Yeah, even in marriage, we learn that in conflict resolution.
Don't go there.
In marriage, marriage resolution, as you conflict resolution in marriage, we learn that. We're just like, don't go and now say, you're always doing this, you're whatever. Just be like,
I feel like always, never.
Yeah, always. Don't do that. Don't do that. Me saying it to myself out loud. Yeah. Don't do that.
2 minutes later.
You stupid man. Anyway, so this one we understand. We get that one. I think we do for sure. Yeah. Someone says, I knew the friendship was over when my boyfriend cheated on me with her. I think for sure.
No,
definitely.
There,
we hope also that the relationship was over. Because some people are willing to end the friendship.
Oh yeah.
And then still you're forgiven. Minor.
Okay. Let's be honest. If one of your friends, not me, obviously,
with my man.
I'm top tier. Yeah. Slept with your
boyfriend.
Your husband.
Oh.
Would you end them both?
Okay, the friendship for sure is going.
Oh, okay.
The friendship
so the
for
bar
sure
is
going.
lower for friends.
No, let me say something. It's different when it's a friend and a husband. If it was a friend and a boyfriend, for sure they are both going. A friend and a husband, it takes a lot for you to decide to end a marriage. So I don't think the husband would be out as quick as the friend. Friend, I'm not even thinking about it. Boyfriend, I'm not even thinking about it. Husband, we'll talk.
Okay, you heard it here first.
Yeah,
if your husband has slept with your friend, don't worry about him.
I know.
Keep
but
going.
Also it really depends on like what kind of friend. If it's like a friend like who is like you, like my day-to-day friend, because him sleeping with you would mean the end of so many things. It's not
TMI,
just TMI, like so many things. That would be a bag.
TMI, babe. In between us.
I know, and my one genuinely is just like so hot. Like I'll be like, I get it.
You understand? You know what I mean? Shit happened.
I mean, we'd chat.
Yeah,
you
no.
chat. But it's like a random friend who is like, oh, it's just like a friend. You know, it could be like it's literally anyone. I mean, I don't know. Me, I've always said that it's not like my man slept with this person. We are divorced, kind of thing. There's many like
things to think
when it comes to think about when it comes to divorce. But yeah, for sure, we get it. The relationship, the friendship did end when he cheated on you with her.
Yeah. Another one, I knew the friendship was over when I was the only one making effort and my friend was intentionally excluding me. For sure, there's some of these where because someone doesn't have the courage to tell you they don't want to be your friend, they start showing it. You know, so it's you're the only one who's calling, you're the only one who's doing it. Actually, there's a line me and my sister are using these days, yeah? Match the energy and see what kind of relationship you really have. Match it, because a lot of the times you're the one who's working, you're the only one who's doing anything.
And that's why your back is hurting, because you're carrying the friendship on your own back.
6 massages a week.
We can't. It's the friendship. It's the friendship.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah, that one must feel really bad. I wish people had the balls to just say.
It's
like,
hard to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's hard to be vulnerable. I understand. I am a very open person and I'm able to be vulnerable, but there's still, especially with friends, it's harder. It's harder to be as open. However, you're gonna keep repeating the same cycles everywhere you go. Wherever you are, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. So
but I also feel like if we are friends who are close and I feel like you start excluding me, I would just come and ask you, is everything okay?
Yeah,
like what's going on?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just our personalities that are like that, because I've come to realize a lot of people do not come and ask.
That's it. Yeah.
They'll just be like, oh, okay, fine, you don't feel like talking to me, Sawa.
See, you've heard that thing. If you're not invited, don't go. If you're not asked, don't tell. What kind of rubbish is that?
Yeah, I'd be like, wait.
What is rubbish? No, I'll be like, if we have a serious conversation, a friendship, Ati Joe has a party and for whatever reason I wasn't invited, I shouldn't ask her.
Yeah.
That's it. I should just cut her off.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me. Communication.
I definitely would, yeah. And then you might even find like some of the things that you assume, like, oh, Lydia, you're excluding me. And then you end up explaining about it's like something completely different, like it's just a whole misunderstanding. I would just be like, oh, so now I would have ended my friendship over something that I didn't even understand.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Someone says they knew the friendship was over when she hit me.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
What's the context?
Oh, I don't know. Oh no, violence for me is definitely a deal breaker.
I mean, let's put anything can be put in context. We're in a club, you've gotten too drunk and you're doing something really dumb that you're going to regret tomorrow. I'm trying to hold you back and you're not coming back down, and I shove you to the seat. Violence, so that I can calm you down.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But if you're there and you're frustrated and you hit me, as in you slap me in my face, that's a huge problem for me.
But is the friendship over? Is your 5-year friendship over? Ask me. It's definitely there's a conversation to be had and a boundary to be set, but is the friendship over?
Oh my God.
Lydia.
You know
me. Put things in context.
I'm saying that, I feel like you're free to slap. You're more relaxed to slap. You're very, very relaxed to slap. Whereas I can't even imagine a situation where I'm putting my hands on someone. So for me,
she slept with your husband. You got really upset.
But the friendship is over because you slept with my husband.
Not
the slap is just a goodbye. Go on your way,
let
Sally.
me escort you.
Go on your way.
Actually, for me, even for me right now as an adult, it's difficult for me to imagine being hit or even hitting another adult. Like, actually, the only context I can imagine hitting someone is you have done something to my child. Yeah. Like you've hurt my child or whatever. That's where I can imagine a level of anger. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's like whatever it is, that anything that warrants hitting, that was the end of the friendship.
Why are we hitting? Why is anyone hitting anyone?
Yeah.
Why is anyone hitting anyone?
That for me, I get it. Violence is unacceptable. And also, we are both adults.
Yeah. Come on.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I knew the friendship was over when she became close friends with someone we both didn't like and talked about.
Someone we both didn't like.
But if she decided to like them, now she can't decide.
I feel like this is a tricky one. If you are to become friends with somebody with whom I have a very bad past with, like someone who I've told you this person hurt me, this person did this and this.
Like though. Yeah. This looks like something that they had a joint beef with.
Yeah. It depends. What was the reason why we didn't like her? If it's just that, that babe, by there, she looks like she has maringo. It's different from like,
someone from like my past in a horrible way.
But I can see how that could
context,
be. I see how that could be a deal breaker. She said, I knew the friendship was over when I just couldn't connect with them anymore.
I think that's a valid reason. Yeah. And that happens, by the way. Friendships evolve and, it just feels like you're not feeling each other. There's something that's not happening, Let me say another one, one of my one. I knew the friendship was over when I just didn't like talking to them. Yes. I just felt like, why am I talking to you? It's like, because the connection is completely dead. The conversations don't feel good. I don't even care about what we're talking about. It feels like it's time. We've evolved past each other. Yeah.
Yeah, also
and those ones suck as well.
I know. The friendships where you feel drained at the end of the conversation. It's like, even when you think, okay, now I need to get up, we're supposed to be meeting at 6, like you're tired. The thought of going to meet them is tiring.
No.
It's just like, and sometimes you have to ask yourself, you're an adult, no one is making you do anything. Yeah, like, why am I still in the friendship?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't have to be here.
Yeah. I listen to my body so much. So when I'm feeling like, when I go and I feel like, I didn't like this, I'll question it, because sometimes I didn't like it because maybe they addressed me in a way that made me feel triggered, or they are the way they embody themselves somehow makes me feel so. There's many ways it could be your stuff, but really if it's a habit and you're my friend.
You know what friendship breakups are really hard, actually, I just thought of, is when you stop being friends with one person in a group in which you guys were all friends. I feel like that's like the most awkward kind of friendship breakup, because like, okay, we are 5 of us or 6 of us who hang out, but now you and one person are no longer on talking terms.
Oh yeah, that's definitely awkward.
And it's kind of like, either people have to take sides, or it's like the hangouts where they are not coming, then you're there, or where you're not coming, they're there. It's just,
or we're there and we're not talking to each other. Yeah, but those situations I've learned to kind of get past, by the way. Funny enough, I was at a wedding. This is someone who I really don't know. But anyway, they created some awkward energy between us. And I just really pretended that they don't exist in the whole time I was there. Good. It's like sometimes you just have to do it, because it's like, I don't want to ruin my own experience. Yeah. I also don't want to actively bring a problem to you. So let's just pretend you're dead, I'm dead to you. Done.
I find it so hard to do that because I'm a confrontational person. So I feel like even if like there's an awkward energy, if I see you somewhere, I'm definitely going to try and bring up a conversation.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
that person tried to bring up a conversation in a really aggressive way, and they're also not my friend. So I was just like, first of all, airtime with me is not free. And so if you feel like you can just talk to me anyhow and still exist in my energy, you're wrong on that. Also, this is not the place. There are places to address things, but this is not it.
This is not it.
Yep.
Yeah, I find it so difficult. I'd rather just leave, by the way.
Really?
Yeah,
I'll
find
sit
it difficult.
Let's say, like right now,
you are willing to sit through a lot of discomfort, whether it's like boundaries.
It's not even discomfort. Like you just don't exist to me anymore.
No,
my mom always says that if she has beef with someone, if they're in a room, she can't even tell you what they're wearing. She just knows how to. I guess my mom, another talent she gave me. The person doesn't exist because they have the same right in the room as you do. So now it's just a matter of you just are not in my world.
No, me, I'm the kind of person who's like, I keep looking at you. You keep finding me looking at you.
No.
I'm concerned about like, okay, are you anywhere near where I am? Will I have to talk? It makes me very anxious. I don't know why.
I don't feel any anxiety at all.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Someone says they knew the friendship was over when she got pregnant and they didn't come and see her till she gave birth.
I don't particularly think so.
Yeah, it also depends how often were you seeing each other
before that.
How often were you? There's a time when in our former friendship, the friendship didn't exist anymore. But like my son was sick at some point and we were admitted in hospital. He was much young. This was even before I got married to Zach. He was admitted in hospital. I remember telling my friend about that. And then she didn't come see us in hospital the whole time that Ethan was in the hospital. And then it was like 5 days. So when we got back home, I remember having a phone call with her. And I told her, because at that point now it's not like the friendship is over, but I was like, I I felt bad that you didn't come and see us the whole week that you're in hospital. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. To me, I just thought maybe you need space or you need time or whatever. So imagine ending a friendship because someone, and how she then have kids obviously at that time. So she's just like, she didn't know, are these things like a really big deal or whatever? She's like, when I spoke to you, it just kind of sounded like, oh, he's gonna be fine. It's just that, you know, we're just being admitted for a few days. So something like that, a conversation was useful. And after that, anytime my kids were sick, she would always come and visit.
Yeah,
you know?
And guess what? Funny enough, that is the real thing. Because sometimes, for example, you've had a year, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm not particularly sure where it's support, like you need me there, versus encouragement and give you the space to be able to run, right?
Exactly.
But you're always curious. It's always curious. But especially when it comes to motherhood and it's not all the case that someone imagines that that's what you need at the time. Like when you just have a newborn, I assume no one wants to be seen. But a lot of moms complain that
to be seen,
my friends don't come to see me when you have a newborn. But you're assuming you're giving them space because they must be exhausted.
I really did not
I think
want
that's a
to
conversation.
be seen by I didn't want any visitors for like 3 months. But there are other people who really want visitors.
Exactly.
You know,
I feel like that's a conversation.
Communication definitely is the most important thing. Like even you, when she wasn't coming, did you ever message her like, hey, when are you coming to see me? Or, you know, like how can we meet up or whatever? I don't know. Did you guys talk about it?
Yeah,
I'd ask.
After that? Yeah. I knew the friendship was over when I saw group photos on a trip I had no clue was there. I don't know.
Oh dear.
I don't know about that one either.
I guess, okay, some of these things are contextual. Yeah, I guess so. I feel like, okay, sometimes in friendships, you can definitely tell when someone has gone out of their way to exclude you from a plan.
Especially
for sure.
Depending on the pattern
That's
of the relationship.
Like there are times where I tell Lydia, when you're just going out, you're not even inviting me. Like I'm not gonna come, but like invite me, you know, kind of thing. If I ever saw now, it's like, oh, she's gone to, even actually if I saw you having traveled to anywhere and you've not even at least told me that you're going, I'd be like, Lydia just went to, I don't know, Mombasa or something like that. Because I know you would tell me because we work together. Right? But it's like, it depends on the nature of the friendship. It depends on what you guys do, how you guys interact.
Yeah, okay, so you'd be offended if now I went somewhere and I didn't tell you.
Not offended. I'll just be like, oh, she didn't tell me she's going.
You have a thing with me telling you.
I like you telling me that you're going places or you're doing things.
Okay.
Anytime she messages, she's like, oh, for later. I was like, later? What do you mean later? What are you doing?
Mind you, I come on her page. She's God knows where. Has she told me? Nope. But just like because you don't do it doesn't mean that I won't honor doing it for you.
I just like knowing where you are,
fair enough,
what you're doing. And then you know also you're a single babe. I feel like we need to know where you are.
Shut up. It's nothing to do
with
that.
Me, if I don't arrive home.
It's nothing to do with that.
You're right.
But I honor
You're
it.
right.
And I honor it and I'll be telling you. I'm going to Kilifi.
Thank you.
But this time you're watching this, I've gone to Kilifi.
Are you still in Kilifi? No. You've definitely come back from
I've
Kilifi.
Come back from Kilifi.
Oh, how was Kilifi?
Amazing.
You're tan. You've gotten so
Thank
tan.
You so much.
Yeah,
it was
I love it.
So good.
Did you get sunburn?
No.
Oh, fantastic.
Stay woke with the sun.
Meanwhile, in Kilifi, maybe you lost a foot. We don't know what could have happened.
But anyway, and if that's a thing for you, definitely let your friends know so that they can know to tell you.
Yeah. Anyway, again, this is one of those things of like perhaps you just have a conversation. But if it's like we've already talked about it, and then now still somebody is just always like going on these trips and they're not telling you.
And a trip that you believe that you should have been invited to or that you wanted to be invited to.
Here's another thing, by the way. I was just telling Lydia this before we started shooting. Sometimes we like to label people friend when are they really your friend and are you their friend? Because sometimes we overstate our importance in other people's lives. And we shouldn't do that, by the way. You need to know where you are. Is this just a work colleague? Is this just a cousin? You know, not all cousins are best friends. Is this just a cousin? Is this just an acquaintance? Is this just somebody who you guys follow each other on Instagram and you talk? Or to you, they're like your friend, but to them, they're just like, oh yeah, this is just someone from Instagram. Do you actually know that you're friends?
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'll be wondering, like, why would I invite you? We're not even real friends. And you're wondering, but we are besties.
What makes a friend to you? If you could say one thing, of course there's many things, but what makes a friend to you?
They know more about my life than what's on Instagram.
Oh yeah?
Because I share a lot of my life on Instagram, but like the intimate parts of my life, I don't put on Instagram. Like, you know, a lot of like the things about me, like about my family, about my home, where I live, what I do, you know, things like that. If you don't know those things, you can't be my friend. You're not my friend.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think the bar for me is, would I be, if I was in trouble, if like something bad happened to me, would I feel ashamed or small if I had to call you to help me?
Wow, that's a great bar.
Because there's many people who you could call, but maybe you'd feel like that shame or whatever. Because if it's somebody who, if I called, me asking for help from them would be an automatic, they would feel empowered, like I would love to help you, as opposed to it's an inconvenience. I think that's my bar.
I would also say someone who, when I speak to them, I feel like I can be my whole self.
Ooh, right. Not muting yourself
not
at
muting
all.
or pretending or trying to portray myself in a certain way or hiding. Of course, there are there's different levels of openness you have with different friends, and that doesn't mean that they're not friends. It just means like there's some things which
different.
You're not talking about anal sex with all the friends. You know what I'm talking about? You're not talking about your UTI with all the friends, but it's like, I mean, you feel like you don't have to pretend around them.
It's
for
true.
sure. That for me is a bar.
Also, another thing I feel, as far as what makes a friend is that my joy is your joy. My sadness is your sadness. Without a shadow of a doubt, anything bad that happens to me, I know it would be really bad for you.
Like, you know who's not a friend? Micah's friend who was laughing at her wedding.
Shelby,
we see you. She was like, that's exactly what I wanted to happen.
And guess what? Forget the fact that them breaking up, you didn't
Love
want them
is Blind,
to be happy.
guys. This is from Love is Blind, season
Blind.
4, the wedding of Micah and Paul. Done.
Yeah. It's the fact that her being in pain wasn't your biggest concern.
Yeah.
That's odd.
And I was like, I get you being happy that it didn't work out because you didn't think this guy was right for me. But you're laughing as I'm you're laughing as I'm crying.
That's not a friend.
How are you my friend? Oh, no. Impossible. Impossible. Someone says, I knew the friendship was over when we had sex with the same guy, in different instances though. Really? I mean,
no. That's not a no. If I found someone who, we had sex, and then it happened that you guys had sex as well, I don't think so. Especially had sex, so. Not dating.
It's not dating. No, thank you. I knew the friendship was over when we moved to different countries and had different experiences.
I mean, that can draw you guys apart. I see how that
especially if you're not intentional about remaining in each other's lives and being, because they are friends who you've not even lived, whatever. You don't even talk that often, but you still consider them really great friends.
Good friends. Yeah. Sometimes distance can, just like distance with relationships. I feel like some can work, some can't.
Yeah. Sure.
It's not all friendships that are built for long distance. So I knew the friendship was over when she started texting my ex trying to seduce him. I feel like this is my rule of thumb, and I'm grateful to God that all my friends feel the same way. Once I'm no longer dating someone, they don't exist to you either, unless they were your friend first, in which case you just have to learn how to respect boundaries to keep both friendships. But for you to be struggling to cut off communication with an ex of mine is abnormal. And every time we talk about this, there's like a million people in the comments saying like, no, but now what are you talking about? So I am literally risking our friendship with you because of someone I met through you.
Definitely no. And I feel like it's different, even if it's just from a friendship point of view. Again, like we had the conversation, I think on the Over 25 episode, where Jules and Shiki were talking about Shiv and how Jules has been friends with Shiv.
See, that makes
like
sense,
ages.
As we said.
If we have already been friends for really long. If at any point I started, let's say I was single, and like an ex who's like your ex from 5 years ago even started to look in my direction, the first thing that I would do, if I'm feeling like, oh my God, I really, really feel like I could like this guy, is have a conversation with you and just be like, honestly, Lydia, if you say that I can't do it, then it's fine, I won't. But I just wanted to tell you it's happening. How are you risking a friendship
if you truly matter? Yeah,
oh God,
guys, it's giving scarcity mentality when it comes to men.
And there are
It's giving.
No.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes men know this, like they know, like if they have already been in your circle, so it's like, it's easy to get to her, and we used to, she used to look at me, she knows I'm hot or whatever, she's been there when I was with her friends, so it's easy for him. Why would he have to go out there and start working for new people when you guys already kind of know each other?
No, my friends first. Oh, not even a question.
Yes, exactly.
I knew the friendship was over when I tried my best to be better than them. that's not someone you want to be friends with. But I like that it was from her perspective.
The first one.
Well done. It's not sweetie. From other people's perspective.
Yes. Wow.
You're right. If you are feeling like you're always competing with someone or trying to better them, that's not a friendship.
Is there some level of healthy competition in friendships? Is there?
I'm sure they can be, like, you know, maybe you challenge each other, or it's just like, or even with you, I see that you've done something, or even like our rate cards. It'll be like, okay, if lady is charging this, then no, I need to be
something
up
that
my
makes
game.
Us better, both of us better. But not like,
I want to be better than you, or it becomes a problem with you. It's really more of leveling my own game than trying to be better than you. Yeah, girl. Well, that's first of all, amazing self-introspection.
Exactly. I love that. But now I'm just wondering, so you ended the friendship, but did you do the internal work to find out why you ended up in that situation of like, why do I feel the need to have to be better than this person?
Yeah.
That's the question.
That would be good.
That's the question. Oh, I've just remembered another instance where a friendship of mine ended death in the water, where... where we were talking about, it was like me and Zach had said dating. We weren't married though, we were engaged, and we had we were like a group of like 4 girls or 5 girls, and we had gone out, and then we were talking about like your ideal man, and she said that her ideal man was my man.
Actually, you can think it, sweetie, but I need you to die with it.
I need you to keep quiet about it, because she's just like, oh God, yeah, just the way he's so tall, he's, you know, just like he's whatever, literally just like going into detail about how perfect he is and how lucky I am to be with him. I was just like, I remember that time just smiling, just thinking, oh, I am never hanging out with you.
Oh my God.
Again.
Dead.
Ever again.
In the water.
That's it.
Instantly. Yeah. Actually, more of the fact that the feeling itself is not a crime, but the fact that you think that it's comfortable to tell me. And Zach was there.
No, he wasn't there. But we were like in the same environment, but like the girls were sitting separately from the guys. And her man was also there, was present.
The ghetto-ness has layers.
Yeah, has layers. No. Oh no, I was just like, this makes me so uncomfortable. Like, it's fine for you to acknowledge that my man is hot, but for you to say he's your ideal, perfect man,
and
why
also
are you telling me
that long? It's just like, oh, your man is hot.
Yeah, done.
But this detail
of like his please, not a whole master's paper.
Was that yours?
Yeah, that was mine.
I knew the friendship was over when the man abused her and she started sharing my advice with that same man.
Wait. What?
The man abused her. And then now this friend went to share this girl's advice to this man. I don't understand that.
I don't get it.
Or it's one of those, like, you know, your friend goes to you, your friend tells you, like, no, you should leave him, he's horrible, like, da-da-da-da-da. Then you go say, back.
You know, Lydia said that I should leave you.
I think it's one of those.
You know, they are.
Yeah.
Which, of course, now makes it difficult if you guys especially used to hang out in circles and
that
whatever.
That can be uncomfortable.
That can be uncomfortable. But I guess maybe they were struggling with their own being able to leave that relationship or whatever. I think that also in friendships, there's a certain grace that we extend our friends, but there's a limit beyond which that grace cannot reach, where now I am being abused in the friendship, you know.
Exactly.
And also I feel like there are seasons of friendship. I feel like there's like seasons where it's like, if you're going through a really difficult time, I don't expect you to be showing up for me as a friend 100%. It's more like, this is Lydia's time. We are really trying to, And then there are other times when it's the other way around, but it can't always be 1,000%. It's always we are fixing Lydia. It can't always be that. Yeah,
I agree for sure.
Yeah. Someone says that they knew the friendship was over when they insisted on breaking my boundaries when it was clear that she had expressed them.
Well, that's fair enough. That's what boundaries are like. I tell you this is a boundary and why the boundary is that. You do it again and maybe remind you if I have the grace for it. And then the third time has to be I can't be in a relationship, because boundaries are saying you are invading in my own personal space and making this relationship uncomfortable for me, you know? Yeah, eventually you have to.
Yeah. I would say I feel like my limit for boundaries is like maybe 4
out of 10
or 5 reminders.
I think, I know you say that I'm not a low maintenance friend, but I feel like I'm a low maintenance friend in that I need next to nothing from you. Tell me what is that you do that, you know, is so hard to maintain with me. Go on.
Calling you.
You never call me.
Exactly.
So what is it?
But even if I don't call you, I feel the pressure. Like, you know, you haven't called Lydia this week.
But you don't call me,
what
period.
It's like to live with that.
You don't call me, period.
Do.
When's the last time you called me?
Lydia, I called you yesterday.
You called me yesterday because of work.
Exactly.
Next.
When was the last time you called me? Not to do with work? Tell me. I thought so. Right. So she's here pointing fingers. Yeah. Exactly.
But in the grand scheme of our friendship, I definitely call you more. So relax.
But I definitely WhatsApp you more. I definitely respond to your stories more. You know, me, I feel like I'm constantly engaged in the different things happening in your life. Yours is just a phone call, is the one thing. Why am I having diarrhea every week about a phone call? Why?
The stories, maybe it's like 65, 35. Don't make it.
Watch my stories once out of 7 days in the week.
That's not true. But anyway, I feel like I'm a low maintenance friend. So
tell me Kenny's hairstyle right now.
Rastas.
Okay,
we
fine.
saw.
Oh, okay,
Come
fine.
on. I know the main thing.
Okay, you know the basics.
It could never be 2 days
right,
I haven't seen your stories.
Okay, fine.
So I feel like I'm low maintenance in that. Number one, I feel like I am quite emotionally aware, so it gives me grace with other people's like mistakes and stuff like that. And then also it's like, it's because I usually say something at the beginning, so it's rare that you're going to be encroaching in my boundaries to the point of ending the relationship unless you're actively wanting to end the friendship. You know,
I thank God so much that we haven't like had a thing which is just like a major thing. Like this is definitely a boundary for me. Like imagine if you had
the
a
8 kids was.
Oh yeah, well yeah, no, but it's not like a thing which happens in the physical.
I think about it anytime I try to make that joke, so it was major for me.
Now you're bloated for nothing. Now you're bursting out of the dress.
Just a joke, and I'm here tightening, clenching my buttocks.
But like something like taking someone's stuff. Like I used to have a huge thing about someone touching my things, like taking my things, because I grew up with 3 sisters. I never used to have like things which are just my things. If you have a chain, it's everyone's chain. If you have a top, it's everyone's top. So I remember being in friendships where like someone would come to my house and just feel the liberty to enter my room, use my things, take my things, and I used to feel really, really like, don't touch my stuff kind of thing, you know. So I like, even right now, the way we operate, I feel like we have a very good understanding of like boundaries of like your things, my things, but we also share. And I imagine being with somebody who is just like,
but can I tell you
what?
Funny enough, there are hoops that you let me borrow, and I've been with them, and every time I wear them,
what hoops?
They're really big. Every time I wear them, I'm just like, why have I not said something to Joe about them?
Are you sure I didn't just give you?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. Because deep down in my heart, I'm just like, will Joe be able to tell me that actually this is a massive boundary violation? Every time I wear them, I think of that. Then I forgot. I forget every time.
Okay, funny.
They're big round hoops.
Yeah. Now, probably it's because they are big. Because I don't really care that much for big earrings. I prefer to wear studs. If they were studs, I might probably have remembered. And I feel like I would tell you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Every time I wear, I'm just like, I should apologize for this. Literally every time.
No, yeah. Okay, fine. Consider them yours.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And then also, whenever I lend you jewelry in the shoot, always before, when we're packing up, I'll always be like, don't forget to give me back my earrings.
Yeah.
I'll never forget to say.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I love it. And also, sometimes I feel like people intentionally will put a roadblock in their friendship. It's like, if somebody is about to do something which you know is hurtful to you, or is,
just tell
them at that point. Don't wait for you to build up. Now it's been like, so it's been 1 month of her keeping my earrings. Now it's 2 months. Weren't you just saying? Weren't you saying that she has your earrings?
I think that happens a lot in friendships as well. Yeah, it does. Okay.
And people just aren't willing to talk about things. Yeah. Ooh, we need to have that. We need to have that conversation.
I knew the friendship was over when I asked for my money back.
I mean,
this usually doesn't go well.
Let's walk
you guys
through this.
Stop borrowing your friends' money.
No, let's go through this. Assuming I came and asked you to lend me money. Think about it in like reality of our friendship right now.
Of me and you.
Yes. Yeah. I've asked you for money. You've sent me 50K. And I said I'll pay it back end of the month. End of the month has come and passed. How are we going about? Now you've come to talk to me about it.
Oh, I've come to talk to you about it. Yeah. Oh no, who's borrowed who? Sorry,
I've borrowed money from you.
Oh, okay. It's end of the month. Oh, okay. I'll just be like, hi, Joe. I know, obviously, since you borrowed me some money, I know everything that's going on with you. But since you said you wanted to lend it back at the end of, give it back at the end of the month, do you have an ETA of when you're going to be able to do that?
Okay. Is that on phone call? Is it face to face, or is it on WhatsApp?
first of all, anything important, don't do it on text.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely
please don't guys,
do it on text, because you can't get someone's tone, and tone matters in conversation. So I think I would say it to you face to face. For sure. Anything that's really sensitive, I want to be there to read you or whatever, and then also to give you like the space to be as honest as possible, because it could be something that brings you discomfort.
Okay, let's play out different scenarios based on how someone could respond. Scenario 1: oh my God, I had completely forgotten. Let me send it to you right now.
Boom.
Done.
Ideal scenario.
Next one. Babe, are you serious? 50K is what you're asking me for? Be serious. Anyway, guys, so we need to continue shooting.
But if it's nothing,
it's 50K. Relax. I said I'll give you. Relax.
When?
Babe, relax.
No.
Are you serious?
I don't even have friends who are like that. I can't.
You can't.
I can't.
Me, by the way, that one is a yeah.
50K only. If it's only, brother, send it.
Yeah.
Send it. If it's nothing, send it then.
And it's the principle. It's the principle.
No, I get
next
it.
Scenario. Next scenario. Oh my God, I've just been feeling so ashamed of telling you that I really don't know when I'm going to be able to pay you back the money. It's taking longer than I thought to get the money back, and I don't know when or if I'll be able to pay you back.
Jockey.
Are you doing this? Are you doing this? No, I've already started crying. It's just been so hard, and like my man left, I've really been struggling, and it's like, actually, I wanted to ask you, can you add me another 30,000?
I love you so much, and I really understand what's going on.
Thank you. So you can send to my M-Pesa.
But you shouldn't have borrowed me money if you knew you couldn't pay it back.
In that moment, well, I'm crying. That's what you're saying.
What I'm going to say. But
okay,
that's exactly what I would say. But I'll tell you, I'm your friend, and right now it's not something that I need. So you have all the wiggle room. But whenever you can send it to me, please do. And I'm definitely not lending you any more
Please,
money.
I need 30,000. I'm going to be kicked out of my house tomorrow.
Why do you live in a house you can't afford? No, I'm joking. I wouldn't say that.
Lydia would literally sell her couch to send me money for Tana. I know. That's how I know.
Only 30.
Yeah, I'm saying
only 30. Only 30. Really? Yeah, I would give you so much wiggle room.
I know.
Will give.
But you can
There's
also
many
tell
of my friends who will definitely give like far more wiggle room.
But also, you can definitely tell when someone is trying to take advantage of you versus somebody who's genuinely in a really bad space.
Especially when I'm not in the bad space, I would do so much to help.
And me, I would be now like, okay, fine. If this is the issue, because maybe giving you the money is not the solution. How can we find a solution to the problems that you're facing, as opposed to just it's money? Because maybe there's a bigger struggle there. Is it that you lost your job and you're looking for work? Is it that you need a connection to someone? Is it I don't know.
There'll be many ways. But if somebody starts to invalidate you because you want your money back, that is someone who's taking the piss 100%, and someone who's manipulating you, and that's kind of gaslighting you, because it is valid to me. It's valid to me. It's my money, and you said you'd pay it back a particular time. Yeah.
I find it so difficult to ask for money back from anyone. If I gave you money and you said you are going to pay it back, it's either you will pay it back on time, or you will come and explain to me, but I'm not going to come and ask you about it. I just won't do it. But when I do that, I make peace with whatever has happened, and then I just make a decision about it. Because I always just lend money that I can afford to lose. So I'm not waiting on it to pay my kids' school fees. I instantly already make a decision that I know that the next time you ask me for money, I'm just not giving it to you.
I agree. Even me, like I would just assess it. And I think it's like a third strike, because it could be many reasons why. And also the money I'm lending, as you're saying, is not money that is going to put me in a really tough position. On the list of friends, you're last on who I would ask for money.
Why?
Because of your stuff with people borrowing you money and not giving it back.
And you see, that's the problem. But only you know that.
Only you Bear before I ask you.
No,
even Paul.
But out of
Paul,
all
you lend me 20K.
I'm the one who will have the money that you need.
You're not the only one who I know will have the money that you need, but still.
Right.
Yeah, you've got there's a lot of things that have happened with you, with people kind of financially taking the piss, or just and that's a dynamic you have in a lot of situations. So
you wouldn't want to muddy the waters and whatever.
Bear first.
Something about me, I feel like if I was to need to borrow money from someone, I would want it to be a man, not a woman.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm just like, why should anyone be asking a woman for money? Why not a man? Ask the man.
Really?
Yeah.
A man like who now, if not your husband?
Like any of my husband's friends, any of the guys who are in his lineup, I would ask them.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I feel the complete opposite. Actually, I don't. It doesn't matter to me.
A cousin who's male.
Mm-mm.
Paul.
Yeah. No.
Cool is a daughter and Patia. Yeah, I know.
I don't know, no. And I guess most of my friends are women, so I wouldn't skip them to go and ask. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I wish we could get to a place as an African culture where money is not such a heavy thing that it affects so much of the way we interact with people.
Yeah.
Because right now I feel like it really, really is. Like, I mean, but I feel like in our generation, not as much. But like,
it's getting better.
Yeah, we need to get to a place where it's just like, we can openly talk about right now I'm in a season of having a lot of money, or right now, guy, I'm broke, I don't have that much money, and it doesn't affect the modalities of the way people's friendships are with each other.
I've actually learned, like, lately I'm practicing being that way, like, like sharing out, like, oh, okay, like I actually need money for this, but I'm not able to do it, or like openly saying
that's it.
And I don't know who it was. I think it was Sharon who I shared something along those lines with, right? And I immediately loved her more.
Yeah.
And it was nothing to do with her, but I just immediately loved the fact that I could say something like that to her and it was fine.
That's it. And you don't feel judged or dumb or stupid or whatever. It's just like, you can just say.
Actually, it's us who are limiting our friends with that when we don't share honestly. It's us, because you'll be surprised at how amazing or how well your relationship is built when you're honest, especially the things which are hard to be honest about. Don't be honest. Don't not the ones which you're
don't be honest about your dandruff. We don't care about your dandruff.
Easy, the ones which are hard to be honest about.
I feel like am I open enough to be on? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so, because I feel like, depending on what the context is, maybe with lack, I don't know if it's easier to be open and honest when it's lack, as opposed to like, someone is struggling. Are you going to be now starting to talk about like, oh man, that quote for like 15 million was so tough, I wish I want to get it down to 10 million or something like that. So it's a different paradigm. It's a little dance because now it's almost like, it's like the line between bragging. I don't want you to feel like where you are is so different from where I am. It can be isolating sometimes. It can be really isolating, and you don't want that to be the case.
Yeah, I feel like in all my seasons, there's at least a friend to talk about whatever is happening.
That's it.
So if I'm in the thriving season, I know at least one of my friends who's in that season where it won't feel like bragging per se. And also, if it's sharing good news, all of my friends can handle that, no matter how difficult things are.
Matter what,
but maybe is it like all the time when I know you're struggling and you're struggling to pay rent, will I keep coming at it over and over again? Maybe not.
Maybe we need a whole episode on money and friendships. Please comment below, guys, if you want an episode on money and friendships, because there's a lot
we can do.
To talk
we can do a friendship series.
Yeah, first of all, we haven't even exhausted these.
So we said we're doing.
We're gonna do a part 2. Yeah, because like this, we literally were on like the third.
So
on the third slide.
People are going through it with friendship.
Yeah. Oh God, they fat shamed me. I knew the friendship was over and they fat shamed me. Oh God, I've been fat shamed in friendships before, and the friend was fat. What? Crazy! Oh my God! Oh my God!
I've been through too much.
Yeah.
Guys, we've talked enough, but there's still so much more. So we're going to do a series on this. And I guess because we said that one of the pillars of what we wanted to be talking about on the topics was friendship. And we have completely ignored it. So we're going to give you 3 full episodes of friendship. So this one, and then a part 2 of it. And also we're going to talk about how to handle breakups, how to go about breakups, how to heal from breakups, because actually when I was doing my breakup workshop, so many people were asking, can this also be about friendship?
Friendship breakups,
yeah, because those ones are tough.
Yeah, I also feel like I get so many messages whenever I post, even on my own page, about like, I love your friendship with Lydia, I love your friendship with Lydia, and that's what actually makes TMI run the way that it does. So maybe we can even do an episode about like things that make our friendship work the way that it does.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like that could be a really good one.
Yeah, but right off the bat, I feel like me and Joe's connection, thank God it's on silent.
But the lights just flash. Why do you even have that on as a setting?
So that when it's on silent, I can see it from anywhere.
Okay.
One of the things between me and Joe, I feel like our connection is God ordained.
Oh, girl,
it just is. And I feel there's a way that God aligned our purpose. So the way he set up our friendship is in such a solid way, because he knew there's a way that he wanted his purpose to be expressed through us, but together. So
and
there's a solidity in our friendship that is definitely unique and rare.
Even our differences, I feel like they are such distinct differences that make TMI work. The fact that this podcast is made by somebody who is very single in her early 30s and someone else who's also in her early 30s but married with 3 children. We could not be more different on paper. Like literally, even our body size difference, even our upbringing differences. It's like I feel like we both bring such different things.
So it enriches
everything, because then you guys can hear it from the married point of view, the non-married one, the kids point of view, the non-kids, like just different kinds of perspective. I love that about us. I love it.
It's enriching, and a lot of people who are this different, especially with lifestyle, rarely have strong friendships.
Exactly. Or have the kinds of friendships where it's like there's lots of stuff underneath that we are not talking about, kind of thing.
For sure.
So I love that. Anyway, we have lots to do.
Lots of friendship
conversations that make me feel so happy.
So much.
Make me feel so happy. But give us your thoughts on these things, guys. Do you think that all the things that we've mentioned are like friendship being over kind of things? Do you feel like, do you have your own to add on to? And as we've said, we're going to do a part 2 next time. So make sure you come back.
And we were not trying to validate anyone's reason, but we feel like that would not be a reason for our friendship to end.
Exactly.
And as we say, guys, please follow us on social media, because a lot of these question boxes, a lot of these views, we usually ask them on our social media handles, so you don't want to miss out on that. But until next time for part 2,
love you guys.